Hi everyone, Pete and Grada here.
Hello everyone.
Good to see you tonight, and we've chosen to talk tonight about the Purple House smoothie, which we also call the cancer busting smoothie, or we call it the Purple House breakfast smoothie. It's a year ago now that we explained how awesome it is, and so we think it's time we revisited it. Plus, we get lots of clients who ask us what they can have for breakfast when we tell them they have to stop eating their Wheat Bix or, Nutri-Grain or anything else that comes out of a cardboard box. So tonight we want to give you a bit of a recap on what's so awesome about the Purple House smoothie, which has been in circulation for years and years now. And you can download this booklet, like with lots of information that will save your life, for free, okay? Or pick it up from the clinic for free.
So it's an ebook on our website that you can download.
So now I've forgotten what I was going to say first. So I'll hand you over to Pete.
In the first place, it gives us a lot of good oils and fats to keep our energy levels nice and even all day long. It also has got a lot of good greens in it, chlorophyll, and they are really essential. They get rid of heavy metals, including mercury. We also had a client one time she had a blood disorder and needed blood transfusions about every week, and we recommended she start on the bioraculous powder that's in the Purple House smoothie, and which she included in a smoothie, and she was able to space her blood transfusions out how far?
To once a month.
Once a month,
Which was amazing.
Or even 6 weeks sometimes.
So this lady, she'd had cancer treatment which burned her insides, and you know how our blood is actually made in our bones, but it's also what scientists now realize is that our blood is formed in our gut more than in our bones. And so her gut was completely burnt from radiation and chemotherapy. And so she needed blood transfusions every week. And much to our surprise, this is years ago, she was able to stretch her blood transfusions out to once a month. And we kept an eye on her with live blood analysis as well, and we could see how quickly her whole body recovered. The red blood cells
are made up of very similar structure to chlorophyll, except the iron, instead of the iron it's magnesium, but our bodies can change that chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll is what gives plants the colour green.
Red blood cells,
The colour green in plant material or in green powder or in bioraculous is made from chlorophyll, by the way, which is also the frequency of unconditional love, by the way.
It increases the quality and quantity of red blood cells, chlorophyll. So that's the bioraculous powder that's in the Purple House smoothie. I was talking to a lady today and she asked what her husband could have. He's just been diagnosed with bowel cancer. And I recommended the Purple House smoothie, which we also call the cancer busting smoothie. Now, 1 in
3 people gets diagnosed with cancer.
Well, one in 2 by the age they're 85 will be diagnosed with cancer. 145,000 people in Australia will die of cancer this year. 2019. So it's very prevalent.
And it's still doubling all the time. So in America, the numbers, they expect the numbers to double again by the year 2050, which is a horrible thought.
Yeah, well, they're going up 50,000 in every 10 years or so.
So actually the solution is very, very simple. If you can catch cancer early, but I actually don't like that phrase, by the way, because we've all got cancer cells in our body anyway, non-stop, and normally our body keeps it at bay and deals with it.
Our immune system keeps it.
Yeah, our immune system is highly, highly intelligent. It's such a force of intelligence that there's nothing else like it in the universe other than the universe itself. So we actually need to be working with our immune system rather than against it. And so there are 3 things that you can do that are very, very easy that sets you up for a good life. First of all, drink water, because most people are super dehydrated and their body simply can't get rid of the toxins. It's like a dehydrated plant that's all limp. There's no energy flow through that plant. That's the same with us. Most people are dehydrated. Most people are also mineral deficient.
Well, everyone who lives in Australia is, if they
they're mineral deficient.
don't have minerals. Yeah.
And also minerals still need water as well to circulate. And stress is number 3. And most people don't realize how deeply stressed or tense they are, because it's like a screw that tightens or a spring that gets a bit tighter every day, and we're so used to our stress levels till we actually sometimes get a chance to unwind. And that's why I recommend that you have a healing session somewhere. Come to the Purple House, or somebody who can give you a nice relaxation session regularly.
Every 4 weeks would be
a good investment.
The least, really, that
because
you would do for yourself.
That's right.
To
My
de-stress.
clients, they just don't know themselves like before and after session. And they don't expect even how good they can feel, right? Just from a deep healing session that allows all your cells to relax.
Deep relaxation. That's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely vitally important. Go for walks in nature, go to bed early, have a nice hot bath. What else can you do? Just be kind to yourself and keep those stress levels
Exercise,
down.
but don't over-exercise,
Yeah.
because over-exercise will put you in stress mode again.
I think keeping your fears at bay. I'll do today at 8 o'clock, I'm going to do a session on how you can work with your fears and become fearless. Water, salt, like mineral salt, the Purple House smoothie, and de-stressing. So I want to tell you a story that I've shared it many times. But one time I had a client who came to me. She'd reached the end of the road. She was planning a funeral, and she had like 5 different types of cancer that had spread through her body. And the doctors had given up on her. So I gave her a healing session, and then I basically told her to drink water, have salt, Purple House smoothie, have lemon essential oil, have iodine that's in the smoothie.
Low carbohydrate, high fat.
Stop eating sugar.
Ketogenic diet, because cancer cells live on sugars.
That's right. Well, she wasn't eating much anyway, so that was easy. And then so she had liver cancer, lung cancer, brain cancer, bone cancer, and breast cancer. And within 2 months, or 3 months even, her liver had completely cleared, like her liver cancer was gone.
The bones were healing back in.
Because, by the way, you have a completely new liver every 3 months, which is amazing. So take advantage of that.
Instead of being in a box in the cemetery, she was in New Zealand on a holiday.
That's right. So it's amazing what your body can do, and we have to eliminate the fear, or at least work with our fears as well, not suppress our fears to do with cancer. All right. So in the Purple House cancer busting smoothie, we've talked about the bioregulators and the oil, so coconut oil. And it's called Percy's powder, so I'll just quickly talk about Percy. And then Peter can talk about the other ones. So Western Percy, he lived...
Percy Western.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, he lived till he was like in his 100s. And he cured himself...
Up in your country, Anne?
Yeah, he cured himself from cancer twice. And he cured his wife from cancer several times as well by using his own powders that he discovered by working on the farm. He was a bit of a scientist who wanted to be a doctor, like a medical doctor, but after the war, or before the war actually, he had to come back and work on the farm. So he used his farm as a laboratory, and he noticed how fertilizer started to the introduction of fertilizer and other chemicals created diseases in his sheep and cows and plants.
Cancerous growths on the sheep.
And in himself and in his wife. And then he came up with what we now call Percy's powders.
And he also grew tobacco up in northeast Victoria, and prior to the introduction of superphosphate, there wasn't any lung cancer in smokers, which is
smoking
interesting.
was actually safe before it was grown with superphosphate.
So if you do smoke, you can get organically grown tobacco now.
Yeah, all right. Can I get back to Percy? Because Percy and his wife married like older, like a little bit older, I don't know how old, maybe in their 30s, and his wife couldn't have children, and they were disappointed, but his wife wasn't interested in any of his powders. She was just interested in like scones and cakes and stuff like that my mother always loved as well. All those people who came through the war, they thought white bread and sugary cakes were the bee's knees and the height of luxury. So, but Percy said, take my powders anyway. So
Didn't she get uterine cancer?
No. She was barren, what they call barren. That meant she was infertile. And then suddenly she got this massive growth in her uterus. And so it grew and grew so fast that it was too late for the doctors to cut out. And then the doctor said, actually, it's not cancer. It's a baby. Which is a bit like a cancer, I guess. Eats all your energy. No. Anyway, so they had 2 children. And Percy himself had leukemia, cured himself, and he had a cancerous
skin
tumor.
Cancer, yeah.
So that goes into the Purple House smoothie.
The iodine goes into the Purple House smoothie as well, which iodine kills cancer cells. It's needed by every cell of the body and the thyroid, but when a cell in your body comes to the end of its life, that's the iodine that blows it up so it won't mutate into another type of cell. Mm-hmm. It also, in the smoothie, we tell people to use full cream yogurt or cottage cheese mixed with flaxseed oil, and that comes from an old recipe from a Dr. Joanna Budwick back in the 1960s, who cured 90% of her cancer clients with those 2 products blended together.
Yeah, you don't have flaxseed on its own because it's unstable.
Always blend it together with the dairy protein, and it becomes an oxygen-rich mixture that goes into the cells and kills cancer cells.
Opens the cells up so they allow oxygen in, because there's 2 things where you can strike cancer cells below the belt, Pete?
Yep.
You can cut off the sugar supply, which means your cancer stops growing, and you can blast them with oxygen, and that's what you do with the Purple House recipe because of the Joanna Budwick base. That's the base of the product.
When I make the Purple House smoothie, I'll put in my yogurt and flaxseed oil, but then I'll pour in probably nearly another cup of cream for myself. So
after he's given it to me,
and then a tablespoonful of melted coconut oil. So I'm getting a lot of oil for my cells to live on, and they give the energy centres of the cells the right type of energy so they work properly. And just a ketogenic diet will also help cure the cancer. Mm-hmm. And then, if you have any questions about all this, because it's a lot of information, just send us a message, right? And then you can add some water. We recommend you don't put, what about ground linseed as in LSA? Yeah, if you buy LSA, I wouldn't use that. I would only freshly ground, like on the spot, so
right?
you grind the seeds up freshly and then put them in.
Yeah. So that's okay. But actually, the Joanna Budwick recipe, you can Google it, Dr. Joanna Budwick. She nearly won the Nobel Prize or Nobel Prize or whatever, because she cured so many people from cancer, even people who were on their deathbed. But because of politics and probably because she was a woman, she didn't get it.
Plus, there wasn't any money involved in quark or cottage cheese
Yeah.
and flaxseed oil.
So she discovered it has to be that mixture like cottage cheese and flaxseed oil bashed up together. So you don't just mix them up. You actually have to put in a
Blender.
blender
Yeah.
and bash the molecules up. And that turns it into a different substance.
It's one tablespoon of flaxseed oil to 2 of yogurt. Mm-hmm. So it's very specific. It's her recipe. She did the research, and that's what we recommend people do.
And then my nose is getting itchy. That means worms. Now I'm just thinking about it. We also recommend that you put a teaspoon of food-grade diatomaceous earth in it, and that kills worms. Because apparently worms are at the bottom of every disease in our body, supposedly.
And in the Bioraculus, it also has extra probiotics, which reseed the gut, and it's a complete food in itself. The Bioraculus really gives us the equivalent of about 5 to 7 servings of green veggies, and lots of different things in it, which are amazing.
Very restorative for your body. So.
Now, our grandkids grew up on it, and they call it their monster juice. And it would have. It's kept their immune systems ticking over really nicely.
Okay, so I would say go ahead and download the Purple House Smoothie. Download it, have a look at it, have a read of it, share it with other people, and start eating it. Like even if you weren't doing it every day of your life, but still do it the majority of days, you will notice a huge difference in your body. Like pain goes away as well, and your stress levels, you become more resilient. And what else was I going to say? You can put more water in it, and if you don't want it for breakfast, have it for lunch.
It keeps well in the fridge.
Actually,
so you can have
I have it for breakfast and for lunch because there's no way I can eat it all for breakfast, but most people do.
If I have a glass full of that for breakfast, I won't get hungry until 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and quite often just come home and have a bit of an evening meal.
So it actually saves you lots of money in your because you won't be eating rubbish, and you'll be buying less groceries, and your cells are getting full nutrition. So you're saving money on your grocery bill and on your doctor's bill and on your chemist bill. One of our clients, he's religiously eaten the breakfast smoothie for how long now? 7 years or something like that. And he should be retired, but anyway, he isn't. He still, keeps going strong every day. And people keep asking him what he's doing different, right? Because his skin is, he isn't wrinkled or anything. It just looks amazing. So that's, he always takes a thermos with his Purple House smoothie in there, doesn't he? So I would encourage you to give it a go, and definitely check out all your breakfast cereal killers they are.
It saves you filling up on those high starch carbohydrates that are doing a lot of damage. And hit those cancer cells below the belt where it hurts them, which is, like I said, stop eating sugar, introduce minerals in your body and iodine and other cancer-busting ingredients. And then even it's what research has shown that if you just slow cancer, let's say you've been diagnosed with cancer and you manage to slow it down, so your aim is just that you want to slow it down, that can be a really good objective as well. Science has proven that you can, live till well into your hundreds with a little bit of cancer in your body, and that's totally fine. Okay, so that's also a different outlook. So I think we have to stop getting so panicky about it, if you understand what I mean. Once you've got a diagnosed cancer, it's probably been growing there for years.
That's right.
So it's not a panic station.
No, there is definitely time. Cancer takes more than 2 years in your body before it's actually, diagnosed often. And some people say 10 years. And you can do the reverse process as well. And quite often, it's more normal for our body to be healthy than to be sick. So, how it can take 10 years for a disease to appear, but the recovery is often a lot faster. It doesn't take 10 years to recover. You can recover in 10 weeks or 10 days sometimes, right? You can still recover even when everybody else is writing you off. So that's what I want to tell you and to give you courage.
Believe in your healing ability.
And reach out for help. You're worth it. Invest in yourself a little bit. And the Purple House Smoothie doesn't cost you millions of dollars. Like I said, it saves you money. Invest in some treatments with us.
De-stress.
And come and see us and make yourself feel beautiful and worthwhile. And be gentle on yourself too. That's really important as well. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
And hope you got something out of it tonight. And send us some questions if you have any questions in particular, or if you know of people who have cancer and they want an alternative. And because we've got lots of good success stories that will help you. And tune in again next week. Hope you stay warm and talk soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.